Hey everybody, we are back, and I are now going to be continuing on with this bully slash personal school experience talk. And I know we were supposed to talk about this like after like the first part, but I just realized like we were just like in a really good groove with just talking about the whole school life, country life, and everything. Oh shit, and everything as well, and. Now we can finally get to the whole little controversial wait no, controversy with quotations about bully. And one thing I remembered vividly was that a lot of fucking news journalists or whatever would try to make bully seem like a game that promotes bullying, even though that wasn't it at all. In fact, you were actually fighting back against the bullies. And along with that, it actually punishes.
Motherfucker. My bad. I didn't mean to totally steal that segment from you.
It encourages motherfuckers.
that's going in the gag reel. That was funny.
But yeah, everybody. the the game actually encourages you to not be an ass by implementing some kind of punishment system when, well, if you hit like a kid or like a girl, like you're gonna like, deep into the wanted zone.
I
I
mean,
know.
if you hit a lady, it's automatic red. The prefects will just take you down. There's no fighting that.
Yeah, like there's no way to struggle against that or just copying, spray painting, bullying, or anything, the usual bad guy stuff. You're gonna get punished for that quick, depending on how badly the crime is. And yeah, I just feel like that game doesn't promote bullying. It despises it. There's
Yeah.
even to the point, it can even get to the point where if you do enough bullying, you would even have to start mowing lawns.
Yeah.
Ironically enough, I love the lawn modes.
I like the first level. I hate uh the base or the football field.
Oh, that was a bitch. I just like that one though the most. Like mowing for money or just for like the small punishments, fine. I'm happy with that. But mowing the whole damn football field, damn, that just sucks.
Yeah, it wasn't fun. It's because in the other ones there's like grass there and it makes sense. But in the football field it's like you have to go and there's like little patches, so it's like little patch, little patch, little patch, little patch, little patch, 1%, and then same. Yeah, I hated it, bro. And there's nothing you can do. You can't skip that segment. If you want to not do that, I swear. He was growling at my other dog. I was like, hey, that's not nice. Um, no, I think I swear, like I tried, I was like, fuck this. I don't want to do it, right? So I turned my game off, turned it back on. It auto loaded to the fucking, like, me
Oh,
getting chewed out by the headmaster. I was like, fuck. So I couldn't, like, I had to mow the lawn or I couldn't play the game at all. It was
damn, that's a good
ridiculous.
punishment system.
Hmm.
God damn. I didn't know that because, well, I just did on the first go because I was like, fuck it, I got to this point for the achievement. Why, might as well get go through with it all. And also got the prisoner, or was it the dunce? No, I think it was
I got them
either
both.
dunce cap or the prisoner outfit that I wanted to get because
You get the
I
dunce
think,
cap from,
huh?
what do you get from? You get that one from the classes, I think.
No, I don't. I don't know. I'll look it up. But yeah, I was trying to do it for a costume, and one thing I love about Bully was that you could get different kind of costumes for like.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I fucking love that game. Like, makes me I want to play it now because just how fun it is. Just like you gotta dress up as like the usual school uniform. You could dress as well Jimmy's basic ass outfit in the beginning of the game, or you can start dressing like the other intricate kind of school clothing. And it doesn't
Hmm.
stop there. You can also dress up as well the preps, the other factions. Like
I
once you
like
go
the
to like
nerd's jacket
different.
the most. The green vest thing.
I Oh wait, I thought you were gonna say the green jacket. I was like, I love that too, but like you said green vest, I'm like,
Yeah,
oh yeah, Slytherin.
they're just. I love dogs.
For the
Anyway,
audio listeners, like, um, we're watching Nate's dog. Nate's dog. We're watching Nate's dog. Dog. Just
no,
like,
Nate's dog. You said Nate's dog's dog. No, my dog. We were watching my dog, like trying to dig under blankets, and I have another dog who's under them, and he keeps growling at her because he doesn't want to be disturbed. And so she's like, "What the fuck do I do?" She's like looking under the blanket, trying to figure it out. Now she's looking at me like I'm supposed to help her. I see you. She's just staring at me. I
oh
can
my
see it
god,
on my
so
screen.
menacingly.
Menacingly. Anyway,
Oh,
though.
I found it. Um, apparently, yeah, failing 5 classes in a row. Okay, you're right. Or either turning on all the showers in the boys' locker room in the gym can get you the dunce cap. So I'm guessing it was a prisoner outfit or such that is unlocked from like doing all the lawn mowing stuff. But yeah, I love how there's a punishment system that will say like, no, you wanted to be an asshole? Now we're gonna treat you like one. Go mow
Well,
a
because
damn lawn.
I think it also takes place back in the day because obviously like you know how Mr. Crabblesnitch is like I will beat you and shit or like the prefects they're talking about how they're gonna beat you and shit because that was a totally acceptable punishment back in the day. You could get like
Hmm.
you could get paddled, you could get hit with rulers, you know. Even still, like if you go to parochial schools like Catholic schools and stuff, they still hit people with rulers, not like across the face or anything. That'd be that'd be pretty hardcore, but you know.
They hit you a
Um,
whip instead. Okay,
yeah,
now
I
it's
think
like for the religious people, don't worry, I'm a Catholic, so I can make that joke.
I think it takes place back in the day where like because one thing I will say is you know everyone's gotten kind of soft as time's gone on, but like back in the day, you handled your shit, you know, like you'd go and like you'd fight your bully or whatever, like you'd get your ass beat or beat his ass, and you know you guys would fight and then move on, kind of, you know what I mean? I mean I think it's that mentality. I think they're kind of like, um, it takes place during that time frame with that same mentality of like, you know, boys will be boys, and they're just trying to handle their business. That's the way I've always seen it, you know, because
Right.
I grew up in a more old school family. I didn't have like, you know, my dad. Like nowadays, people complain when their dads say things like "man up," like not me, you know. It's character building, you know. I think that you know that's all it is. I think it's just it has to do with the time and the place. I think they're missing the point because I think part of it is sensationalism. Being in media, you got to get clicks. So what's the easiest way to get clicks is to like stir up some trouble and say like, hey, you know that video game you got for your son? It's bad, you know, because do you think these journalists are playing these games? Nah. They're writing shit and doing other things to try to succeed, you know? They're not playing video games. They don't know what they're writing about. So that's I think they just missed the point. Like you see what you want to see to an extent. Like if you're looking for controversy, if you're looking for sensationalism, you'll find it. You know, because I guess if you really if you try hard enough and if you're like a decent like argumentative type, you can try to make the case for anything, no matter how absurd it is. You can convince someone. You know, I can go and I can say that kind of like I mean this happens all the time with video games, like how they were saying like, oh, Mass Effect, it's pornography and whatever. And it's like, dude, there's no nipples. You don't see like any well, I guess I think Shepard may have shown his nipples. You know, you might see Shepard nipples, but like, no, it's not like, you know, it's not it's not bad at all. The things you see,
Right.
it's like things you would see on TV. It's very censored. You know what I mean? It's like I don't know, like you know how in you watch cartoons or whatever, and it's like someone is naked by accident and kind of their surroundings block the fact that they're naked. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? There's like, he's at the beach, but there's a surfboard in front of like where his junk is or whatever. I mean, I don't know, dude, because like
Stuff like that. Yeah.
everyone's seen the Simpsons movie, and Bart straight up flashes his dick for like a good 2.5 seconds. You know, his pee-wee ass dick, and like no one made a big deal about that. I mean, people made a big deal about that, like as in, oh, they showed his dick, but they didn't get like, no one went crazy about it. You know what I mean?
That's true. No
Uh,
one got really truly offended by it. I
no,
think.
yeah, I mean this whole I think Mass Effect, like, I ain't seen no dicks. I ain't seen, any of that stuff. So I mean, that's just how video games are. Ever since like Doom came out and stuff, they're like, oh, this is making kids violent. This is making them like shooters and this and that. Um, it's
Mm.
just how they do. So I think it's bullshit. I think it's like a people in a medium who don't know anything about it. You know what I mean? Because most gamers are fairly rational people. You know,
Unless it's online.
I mean, there's certain like League of Legends. You know, salty bastards. Overwatch, to a lot of people, like there's communities they're definitely better than others and worse than others in terms of like, but like, by and large, if you play video games, it doesn't make you an evil person. Or, you know, because I like Call of Duty and hitting 360 no scopes, you think I'm gonna go climb a tower, jump off, do a spin-a-rooney, and try to cap some guy? No, that's not what's happening. You know, most people are
Right.
fairly common sense is alive for the gaming people, and those that because there are some cases where like you'll hear stories about like, oh, this outcast, whatever. I mean, some people just have problems. There's people with problems everywhere. People who are crazy. We can't be blamed for the crazy people. Video games can't either. Like if you're crazy, you're crazy. Video games have nothing to do with it.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus Christ, like a lot of things could be applied. I mean, that whole, oh, there's like these kind of crazy people in this community or whatever,
Hmm.
then everything else should also be having that kind of thing in the first place. Like, oh, some random religious person had a suicide cult going on, then that means other religious group of people are like that, or like if some one politician like ends up like shooting down a lot bunch of people, then that means a whole bunch of other politicians will be doing that. It goes on and on, but like no one wants to be like focus on that. Like just like fucking gamers are doing this stuff. I'm like, dude, like what is the point? Like yeah, we got like a crazy guy, but like I think you should be looking at the fact that he's either like got something going on in his head, or he's either a fucking racist or some crazy shit like that. Like
Yeah, it comes down to more than just like, okay, because I think if you really want to get into a serious conversation about like being brainwashed or something, like I don't know, man, it's a lot. It takes a lot more than a good video game to to change someone's point of view. I mean, I don't know. That's the way I see it. I kind of view video games as art, anyways. Like to an extent, because there's so much to be gained from them. I think
yeah.
certain ones, not all of them. Certainly, like you know, as much as I love Wii Sports, I wouldn't say that's a very provocative game. It doesn't get me thinking about shit. But like Mass Effect got me thinking about shit. I completed it, by the way. Did I ever tell you? I finally beat the third one. Yeah, I finally beat it.
Oh yeah, you did. Wait, well, how do you enjoy it though? Like this.
Um, I really liked the game. The ending. I mean, I don't understand why everyone got all pissed off. Personally, I think what really pissed people. I did some research on it after the fact, and I found out that like the endings you can get, it's based on the battle points that you get or
Yeah,
the preparedness points or whatever. And I guess it used to be super high. Like you used to have to like do some crazy shit or get the DLCs to even, like if you get a certain score, you can only get one ending. If you get, the best score, you could get three. I guess it used to be scaled higher, but they scaled it down some. So, I mean, I don't know. I think that's where the problem came to be. I don't know. I was sad. Spoiler alert for those of you Because I mean, it happened. Some people haven't completed Mass Effect 3, so spoiler warning if you don't want to hear. Um, I'll
That
give
needs
you
to
a
be
second
decent.
to. I'll give you I'll count it down to skip ahead. You've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I was sad that like Shepard died. I was kind of like, God, like that guy I built, like I feel so connected with him, especially after the third one too, because I feel like um he goes through some shit. I mean, everyone's like on his case, like, "Hey, are you all right?" And I'm just trying to keep it together. And I'm like, "I'm fine." I'm snapping at Tally, and I love Tally. And I'm like, "I'm fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine." And then like, Joker's like, "Oh, your stress level's higher than in the Skillian Blitz. You know where everyone in your team died, and whatever." And I'm like, yeah, what do you want me to say? I felt bad for him, dude, because I mean he was traumatized by the kid, um, which I think people misunderstand that to an extent. I think that well, I don't know. I kind of feel like to an extent the kid might be the cipher or the catalyst, but I feel like at the same time it's just how Shepard interprets that being because
Hmm.
the kid's always on his mind. I don't know. It's hard to say. But anyway, yeah, it was I enjoyed the game a lot. The ending made me sad because I'm like, fuck, man. Like, I mean, there's not really a satisfying conclusion because Shepard dies no matter what happens. Well, I mean, there's like one where he doesn't really die. He integrates his consciousness to control the Reapers and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but I was like, I personally went with the ending where he kills the synthetics, which I thought would kill. Okay, because the way that I saw it was like I saw what the Reapers were doing as against nature. I feel like they were getting involved with things that they shouldn't have been getting involved with. Like I feel like war is a part of life, and they just went crazy. They were like, we need peace, and like their solution was to get rid of everyone and
Oh.
start over and over and over again. And I feel like it was just micromanaging the universe. If you think about it from a religious perspective, it's like I feel like if you believe in God, if you believe in a higher power, I would assume that the higher power is probably doing things like that affect, um, like obviously there's us, but I think there's more important things than making sure like there's world peace. If you believe in like uh, different doctrines, different creeds and stuff. I don't know. It's kind of like I feel like it was just unhealthy micromanagement. You just gotta let nature take its course. So I got rid of them and figured, whatever will happen will happen. I mean, peace isn't like that was the whole thing about the Reapers. They were like, oh, it's all for peace and whatever, but peace isn't necessarily something you can force. You can have it for periods of time and then not have it. That's the way I saw it. So I enjoyed the game. The ending made me sad. I want to replay it, but Mass Effect 1 is just so slow.
It
I just
is.
can't. I want to do it just for Liara, to be honest with you, because I've never like romanced Liara, and but something made me want to. I know we're getting off topic. I apologize, but
That's okay.
I was like, you asked how I liked it. I want to let you know. But so Liara, it was weird. It was like I was romancing with Tally, but me and Liara kind of had like this secret thing going on. Like there's definitely something there. Liara was like resting her head on me and this and that. Um, she's like, I have one final gift with you, and like she looked in my eyes, they went all black, like and we were just looking at the cosmos, and she rested her head on me. I'm like, she likes me just like she did in the first one. I'm like, damn. I don't know, man. Liara's so sweet. Like she's there. The only thing is, Tally's there for all three games. The thing that sucks though is you can't date Tally in the first one. Pisses me off. You only have Ashley or
I think it's because she was like a bit too young.
You're right. I think she was a teenager.
Yeah, like I don't know
Damn,
how.
Shepard, what the fuck, dude? You're punching down. Yeah, I think she was because she was on her
I think it was
pilgrimage,
her
wasn't she?
alien lifespan wasn't adult yet, so that's why they didn't have her as an option.
That makes sense. I didn't even think about that, to be honest, because I didn't even think like I haven't. Damn.
The stuff
Yeah.
I could remember. I was thinking like,
No, it makes sense then because like honestly, yeah, you're not going to be like dating a minor regardless of if she's an alien or not. I mean, I don't know how that works though, because you gotta think like a 2-year-old Krogan is different than a 2-year-old human. Like I don't know, because it's like 2 years have passed since the events of Mass Effect 1 and Mass Effect 2,
uh,
and how much has Tali really grown up? You know what I mean? How much has her physiology like changed into like womanhood? Like I don't. I feel like this is gonna become like it's gonna keep going. So I'm just gonna say like we'll have this conversation another time. Uh,
so yeah, or else the world will never know.
yeah, I mean, I don't know, just things to think about, people. But yeah, back to Bully. Yeah,
Yeah.
people be saying shit. People, you know. Yeah,
Fucking crazy.
I just don't like how that's how it is with video games. They're always targeted. Like I feel like gamers get a bad rap. They first people assume, well, back in the day, anyways. It's not so weird now. Most people play video games. Back in the day, girls didn't play video games, and boys who played video games were like, "Ah, you're a nerd," and stuff like that. So we've got the short end of the stick for a really long time. Now it's suddenly cool. I don't understand, but you start classifying everyone as losers, and the older people do that too because they don't understand it. They didn't really get into that. You classify these people as losers, and so that hurts their self-esteem. They're sad gaming people. They're sad gamers. They're sitting there gaming, being sad. Then you go and try like say, oh, this activity that you're engaging in is harmful. Like, because we all know it's not. All the people that are playing video games, like we all know that it's not changing us fundamentally or anything. I mean, it's fucked up. It's like imagine going to your like say you have a son and he likes drawing, he likes coloring, and you're like, that's for girls, you fucking pussy, and then you just like, why can't you be playing football? I don't know. It's like it's
Shit
not
like
it's
that.
not good to be trying to bully people for what they're doing. I mean, you know, that's just what we're talking about. Bullying, promoting like bullying. I think if you care so much, Mr. Mrs. Journalist, why don't leave people the fuck alone? Let them do what they do. They ain't hurting anyone. That's what I think.
I think the reason why things started changing was like mobile gaming started getting more popular, so it's more accessible to everybody. Along with the fact that I think journalists are getting like backlash because they realize the audience that wants to see their professional journalism
Mhm.
um is slowly getting is no, it really became overshadowed by people who love gaming, wants to see more positive light in gaming, and rather give attention to people who are talking about the latest stuff about gaming, and they're like their stupid ass little website or
Mhm.
shit writing. Yeah, I'm going all out for this as well. Like who gives a shit? Like who cares about like that kind of stuff? Like we want to see like good, happy stuff, like all this kind of thing, and like people who also like into science will also like look up like the actual science behind like the whole mentality and everything else that's related to gaming, and could
Mhm.
easily find that there are no like legitimate connections. I mean, Jesus, we had presidents that friggin' spent money into this shit, even though we already had a completed scientific report on like
Yeah, and I think
America.
truthfully, like, if I remember right, isn't it like they kind of do the opposite? Like, video games are actually good to some extent. Like, because I know playing for a certain amount of time each week increases your hand-eye coordination and like shit like that. At any rate, I'm
Yeah,
not
because
sure if it. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely like benefits to it. I'm not sure that there's like I don't know, bro. I just don't understand. Like, yeah, like people spend all this money on this like public health crisis or whatever, and it's like, bro, no one is. I'm okay. I'm not playing like a video game. I'm not peeling over and dying, like while I'm playing or anything. I mean, There was like one extreme case where in some internet cafe, some guy like didn't leave. Like he was in the same position. It was like a 24-hour one, I guess. He was in the same position for like hours upon hours. He got a blood clot. But if you just sit there in the same position and don't move, it's gonna happen. You know, I mean,
Makes sense.
you gotta recognize like people gotta move. Our bodies aren't made to sit still. You know, that was a weird that was an extreme case. But
Yeah,
most
addiction is
people,
a
you
problem
know,
though. Like I guess admit that. Like some people gotta look at the more crazy side of gaming, which is like the addiction side. Like that I can understand because addiction can be like addiction can be applied to anything. Even coffee. Even though I love the shit out of coffee, I'm trying to go cold turkey on this shit right now, and it hurts. I'm getting headaches.
dude, I could never get behind coffee. It made my stomach like hurt. You know, I've never been with it, but yeah, there's definitely like I've told you I was addicted to Ark. I was like not doing shit, and so bad, bro. So I stopped doing that altogether. You know, I told myself I can't play that game unless it's single player. You know, which
Hmm.
it's not even fun in single player. But I guess like I have it for PC. There's a mod where I can put random people in the game, like random NPCs and stuff. It's pretty cool. Um,
Cool.
that's not so bad, but you know, yeah, the you know, you know how it be. Video game addiction is a real thing for sure. But even then, I mean, it's not overly. Well, addiction is a complicated subject because it's harmful to the people around you as well, or it can be, you know. But video games aren't making people into these cold hard killers or anything either. Because you ever think about that, Alex, when people would talk about like Call of Duty is like grooming people to join the military and become killers and shit like that? And it's like that's not the only kind of video games that exists, you know. There's like you've got Stardew Valley, you've got Animal Crossing, you've got Haven, you've got all these really peaceful, lighthearted games and stuff, you know. I don't know. They're just trying to fit their narrative, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no one really talks about those peaceful kind of games. It's just only peaceful kind of games, and they just only focus on like the negative focus kind of games. It's just freaking weird. And hell, I mean, look at Rockstar like ignoring the controversies at times or the anything. Because sure, there was a time when they were like talking about the torture scene in
Mm-hmm.
GTA 5, and I don't think Rockstar ever addressed it, and it just passed over eventually. It was just like, oh,
No,
talk about this again.
yeah, I think they kind of understand and they try to push the limits too. Don't get me wrong. Like I think they find joy in it to an extent. Um, I think they've kind of realized that. I mean, people are gonna feel how they feel. Um, it's just a game, though. You know, it's not like it's numbing our senses in any way. You know, I think it's more harmful to consume like media of that stuff. You ever see like YouTube recommends you something that's particularly like it's not really PG, and I don't mean like I don't know if obscene is the right word, but like you see something kind of gruesome like on YouTube or something, it'll be like, oh, you know, I don't know because I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but like,
Um,
oh, gorilla gets shot by, like Harambe, you know, like gorilla gets
oh
killed
yeah,
by whatever, like you know, something traumatic, I guess, which like animals killing animals even to an extent, but I feel like that's nature. You can't get too upset about that. At least I
I
feel
would. The poor
it
deer.
happens, huh?
I said I would. The poor deer didn't escape in time.
Well, it happens though,
I
you
know.
know.
Don't worry. I'm like just messing around.
Yeah.
Oh, it
No,
happens. Man
I
up.
could I could feel like, oh crap, you know, like yikes, that sucks. But I'm not gonna be like you ever see children like parents at the zoo. This like these two gorillas start fighting. They just get pissed off, start duking it out, and they're like, "No, stop it, no!" And it's like, bro, what do you think happens? What do you think happens out there in the jungle? What do you think it is going on? Like, I don't know. It's so stupid. What was the point I was trying to make? Um, oh, it's more harmful to consume shit like that. Shit like you know, like sensational videos, because there's some of them that I've seen, like, oh, elephant gets killed by so and so by poacher or something, like the poachers kill elephant or something, and just very grim stuff like that. It's got like 7 million views, and you're sitting there like, why are you trying to recommend me this, YouTube? Like, what do you want to do to me? You want to
Yeah,
make me a apathetic bitch, like I remember
YouTube
one
ads are
time.
kind of terrible.
Yeah, I remember one time. I don't know how it happened. I have no idea what website I was on, right? But I saw a beheading, and oh
Ooh.
boy, that changes. Like, that makes you think of, like, it was fucking crazy, bro. I don't know if it was on Facebook. This was back in the day. This was a long time ago.
Uh-huh.
But things like that, unmonitored. Like, the internet's dangerous. But people are so like into consuming things on the internet, like, and they're so into sensationalism and what's new and what's trending, kind of like you remember was it 2019, was 2018 the year Logan Paul, like, at the very beginning of the year, filmed that video at the
Oh,
forest in Japan?
mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was a big deal because there was you have this system in place for YouTube, and it's apparently like really rigorous. It demonetizes people like crazy,
Mm-hmm.
for like minor shit. Sometimes it's not even like swearing or obscenity. It's just, oh, they played a song. They played 10 seconds of this song. That's bad. Demonetized. Meanwhile, this video that shows a dead body, allegedly, I don't know. I haven't seen it.
It
I
showed
didn't
that.
see it. Yeah. I just say allegedly just because, like, I haven't seen it with my own eyes. You know what I mean? I've
Right.
heard
Oh,
people say that it did, but I wasn't there. I don't know. But it shows his dead body, and that was on trending. So how many people saw that video before it actually got taken down? Like, that's rough. That's harmful. Video games, um, though they're not really. I can understand to an extent. You feel like a parent, like you're a parent and you want to make sure your kid isn't getting into video games that you don't approve of. Check the video game. You know what I mean? Like,
mm-hmm.
that's your responsibility at that point. But it's not. It's a waste of time to try to get, like, the government involved with video games and this and that. I think it's so stupid.
It is. And there's a controversy that I didn't see get talked about that much in Bully, but it was still like a bit of a controversy with churches, I'm sure, and such.
Mhm.
But there's also the fact that Jimmy was can also be bisexual, and I was thinking like he could. And
Right?
then I saw like people actually show that there was an option for that to happen. I was thinking like, why are people so mad about this? Like it's not like they're forced to do it. It's because
No, yeah.
from what I see in the main story, Jimmy is like mainly attracted to girls, but if there's an option, then it's just an option. It's not like no one's forcing you to like
Hmm.
pretty much be bi. But these people are trying to force the people who made Rockstar who made the game.
Right.
They're trying to force them to like make it only strictly straight. I was like, do you not see the hypocrisy that you guys are trying to do here?
Well, I just feel like in that sense, I feel like a lot of it's not all Christians by any means. It's the crazy ones, because some of them,
Mhm.
some Christians, because I'm Christian, I went to a lot of like Christian churches and stuff. Um, but like, I also had like a lot of separation from them as well, because I didn't go like overly consistently, or I took breaks and stuff. And you can see, like, if you take breaks, at least you can see, like, there's some churches, they're perfectly fine, and there's some churches they think Harry Potter's evil, it's witchcraft, and I'm like, well, fuck, man, that's, I don't know, I kind of like Harry Potter. And there's scientific evidence that, like, if you read Harry Potter, you turn out to be a better person. I don't know why. This is just the empirical evidence. So I mean, you know, what the
I heard
fuck?
about that.
Yeah, and a lot of, like, the crazy Christians, they get all bent out of shape if they see anything immoral, but they don't understand that, like, the Bible even says, like, there's so much temptation in the world, and there's so much, like, sin, if you believe in that shit. You know what I mean? There's so much sin and
Mhm.
depravity, like, you have to resist it. The point isn't to make this paradise, this utopia. That doesn't happen, and it never will. At least if you believe in, like, biblical shit. You know what I mean? Like that's not the point of the Bible. It's not to like, it's to like be strong yourself in spite of the temptation around you, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I guess I can kind of understand, like, yeah, like you were saying, if it forces you to like, oh, you're gonna be a gay boy, you're gonna be like a lesbian. Well, even then, honestly, I don't care, because if you don't like it, then don't play the game. You know what I mean? Or don't let your
Right.
kid play the game, whatever. Yeah, I don't think it really matters. It's kind of like, I don't like doing cocaine. Well, I haven't tried cocaine. I might love it. I don't know. I haven't tried doing cocaine. I don't want to try doing cocaine. Some people love doing cocaine, you know? Well, cocaine's actually kind of fairly dangerous. Let me say, like marijuana. I haven't tried marijuana. I don't want to. Lots of people do it. I'm not going to be like, you smoke weed? Don't fucking talk to me. That's just
Right.
outrageous, Like, you're not going to have any friends if you do shit like that. I don't know. That's just the way I see it.
It's just like,
People are crazy.
like you do your own thing and
If it doesn't harm me,
yeah,
pretty
or
much.
harm others or harm
Mm-hmm.
minors, then shit, fuck it, I don't care. But like, yeah, I mean, there are times when like I knew I had friends where it was like we're like complete 180 to each other,
Mm-hmm.
where we're just not like I don't know, it's like a friendship that shouldn't usually work, but it just works. And I think it has something to do with what you said earlier about me like having that personality that like people would just like want to like at least try to talk to me from a bit. And I think that's how some friendships like have started for me. Well, at least the friendships I had back then, where like someone would smoke weed a lot, or like they would like offer me. I'm like, no, I'm good. I don't want to try it.
Mm-hmm.
And other times they would smoke, and then they remember down like right next to them. And they're like, oh shit, sorry. I'm like, it's fine. I'm not gonna like fucking
Right.
pout about it. I mean, I might cough, but that's because I don't like the smell of cancer. I might vote. But
I don't think I've ever seen like anyone actually get high next to me. I've seen people who are high. Um, I think I had a dream about someone like who got high in front of me, and it freaked me out. But I don't think
really,
I've ever seen it like myself. No, it's
oh,
weird. Because like I don't like being around people like when they're doing that, because they kind of get in an altered state. And to some people, they think like that's cool. That's a better way to be. I don't. If the thought of like not being in control freaks me out, right? So
dude, yeah, I that's the one thing I like. That's why I don't want to risk it like at all, because I like to have control over my own body or have control over my thoughts. Because from one thing that a lot of people still don't want to get into is that it can cause you anxiety no matter what strain. Like
Uh-huh.
that's the one thing I hate when people keep bringing up like, oh, maybe it's because you're not using the right strain. Like, motherfucker, if someone doesn't want to use it because they're afraid of it making them anxious, or just because they never have good history with it, don't bother. Don't try to bother with them with it by trying to bring up like the same old reasons that a lot of people would use. But go
Yeah,
on.
I mean, I just think that it's like, if, and I've heard people say that you don't actually lose control of yourself. It's just like you think in a different way, I guess, or like, you kind of like you broaden your horizons or whatever. And maybe that's the case. I don't know, but it's just not. I don't like the thought of altering. Okay, because for me, like as an example, coffee doesn't really like alter me. Like it doesn't even wake me up, to be honest. Like, I don't know, caffeine doesn't work on me. Maybe that's why I could never like get addicted to coffee. Like, it has to be some strong shit to like wake me up, to actually do anything to me or to get me
Well,
hyper. It has to be strong. It doesn't though. Um, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird to think about, but you know, I don't know. Like people, people are like that. I feel like if yeah, you're not hurting others like with your habits. You can smoke weed all you want. I don't care. As long as you're not like exhaling, you know, the smoke into my face or anything,
right.
or, you know, it doesn't matter. Same thing with video games. Like, yeah, if you don't like it, then don't play it. No one's forcing you. No one is putting a gun to the back of your head and saying, play this game, like, it is what it is.
Unless you're in a weird comedy movie, but even then, that sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. Controversy in video game, that's always been a thing though. Like
Mm-hmm.
no one talks about The Sims. Um, in regards to that, The Sims is fucking smut. If you think about it, I was thinking about it the other day. Like, okay, I had this weird thought that freaked me out. Not the other day. I don't know why I said the other day. It was like years ago, right? But I
Mm-hmm.
kind of boycotted The Sims for a second because I don't know. I got super religious out of nowhere. And I don't mean like I went to church. I just mean I had this one thought that made me think, holy shit, The Sims is the devil. You know, it's one letter off from sins, right? And I was like, oh my God. And then I was like, all you do is sit there. Um, so stupid. But I was like, all you do is sit there, get money, fuck your wife, or fuck 15 bitches, whatever. Like, because you know it's The Sims. People do that, and I'm sitting there thinking like, oh no, lust, greed, and then I don't know. I'm just thinking like, sloth because I'm sitting there, fucking investing more time into this character, getting buff, getting to level 10 fitness, and I'm sitting here just, just not doing anything. I don't know. Freaked
Right.
me out. But I don't know why I brought that up. I feel like I had a reason, but I can't connect the dots right now. I don't remember why. Um,
Neither can I.
well,
It's interesting though.
because we were talking about what were we? Okay, I don't know, but like, yeah, people. It is what it is. Oh, because I was talking about controversy and how like
Oh, right.
the Sims, like it's a deceptively. I don't think the Sims is evil. I thought that for like a second. It was a weird like you ever just feel like diluted, like you feel like you're thinking thoughts and you're like this isn't me. I feel so out of character right now. Like this isn't what I normally. It was one of those situations.
Right.
Um, People don't think about the other games like I said, Stardew Valley, all the harmless stuff, fucking playing A Bug's Life on the N64. You think that's going to make them a killer? Donkey Kong Country. I don't know. It's yeah, it is what it is. I mean, you can make a big deal. Okay, that Sims thought that proves you can make a big deal out of anything, you know. And I don't know. People like making deals. I think people kind of like hysteria, to be honest with you. People are weird like that. They want to be freaked out to an extent. So
That's true.
yeah.
I don't know, it's just so weird that I feel like Bully would do great during this age, cause I don't know, despite like the whole cancel culture and everything else that's been going on in the world, I feel like it would do great because during this time, I'm pretty sure people like just love like the whole school setting and it's just I don't know. There's just like some part of the games where no, some parts of the game that you could sort of like relate to in a way, or just like have this bit of high school fantasy where something you wish would happen, or just something that
Mhm.
yeah, something you wish would happen or could have lived out in your actual life before like well what before you turn into an adult. And I something I want to point out was like something like a beautiful, like tragic but beautiful thing was the final chapter of Bully, like the final,
Mhm.
was titled Endless Summer, and I was thinking like, oh shit, to go to those days when like the semester's over and everything feels like you're free to do whatever you like, you don't have to worry about the next semester because it feels like it's gonna be ages, like
Forever.
endless summer
Mhm.
before it happens and you go on to the next stage of your life or next chapter in your school life, and you don't think about that because summer, like, it's just a
Yeah.
time to like relax and just focus on yourself if you want to or not.
Absolutely.
And
Summer's kind of like a magical time, at least in America. I don't know. It's
I don't know why, like it's freaking hot over here, as in California.
yeah. I just think it's that sense of freedom that gets people all like yeah, because that's how it is. It's kind of the calm before the storm. You don't know what the future has for you, but you have the summer, and the summer is great. They always are. You know,
That's
most
true.
times. I honestly can't like. I can't remember a bad summer per se. I can't remember I can remember bad periods of my life, but none of them are summer. You know, I'm never like that was the worst summer ever. Like I never. That's not to say you don't have moments, because I feel like you get sad no matter what season it is. You know, you have moments, but
Yeah.
it's just I've never been like sad. I can get like sad in the winter or in the fall, even in the spring, but like summer comes along and I'm happy. I don't know, it's weird.
Oh, now you pointed out. I can't really remember a summer bad summers. It's just like you said, bad periods of time in my life. But I think
Yeah.
winter are like my best seasons because I can't really remember much tragic stuff happening in a winter, and even during like my last breakup happened during summer. It was like a good thing because it was like a very toxic relationship that what finally ended after such a long time, and I
Right.
think, huh, like entering winter from like last year, it was really good because I was like entering winter with someone that I felt 100% sure that things are gonna be okay. Like this, I think
Yeah.
this may finally be it. So stuff like
I
that.
get what you mean. Yeah, definitely. I think for myself personally, autumn to winter, like October through December is a weird time where I'm kind of sad. I'm not sad, like I'm not like overly sad. I'm not depressed, but I'm pretty thoughtful. I'll sit there and just like I'll be like, ah, the air tonight, it feels like no other, and like I'll just I don't know, I get all philosophical and stuff. It's weird. Um it's weird. I don't know. I guess I think about how the year went and stuff. And it sucks. It sucked last year because it was cuddle season and ain't no one
Oh,
trying to cuddle. And it made me sad. It just made me sad because, you know, cuddle season, bro. You can't miss out on cuddle season. It's not natural. Like, honestly, I'm not one for hoeing around, but if you don't have a boo thing, like, during those cold times, get one. It's not natural. Man and women were meant to be warned. I don't know. I don't know. That's just how I feel. Feel free to disagree, but it made me
I,
sad.
I
That's all I know.
I could agree with that. Yeah, I mean, I think there's like some seasons where you're gonna be reminded that you know what, maybe being with someone is a good thing, and sometimes it is.
I
Though, huh?
I was just
Yeah,
gonna
like
say. Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
like then again, there are. It's not bad to be single. Just to throw out to the single people out there, like it's not bad to be single. Sometimes you just need time for yourself before like the right thing comes along. And I like it. I like we spoke about earlier. Sometimes it does take time to like find like to realize you found the right one, and it's just something that clicks in your head. But
Hmm.
I think it's the when you find the right one and actually know know it could be the truly right one. It's
Hmm.
because when you actually enact upon it yourself as well. And
Oh yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I feel that's a good thing. And I don't know. It's so crazy to like see Jimmy as this pretty relatable person, even though he's like not the type of person that I would be. Because while I'm like a bit passive about some certain things, he's like just very confrontational or
Hmm.
take immediate action.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes just seeing that in a character that isn't usually wouldn't be seen as the good guy.
Hmm.
It's just nice to see him like do show care towards other students when they're like dealing with trouble. And I think throughout the story you could see it like he may seem like an ass that's like, oh, I don't want to deal with this right now or such. Like he's still gonna do it.
He
And
cares about the school and he cares about the well-being of the people around him. Like especially Pete. You know,
mhm,
um, because I know he was kind of like everyone was kind of hard on Pete. He just kind of did his own thing. Uh,
mhm.
but you know,
He was like the morality pet in a way,
yeah.
and
He was a
over
beta
time,
male, but he was really cool. He was a really good like he was that guy who just I don't know. He
he
just saw
stuck by
everything.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was that friend that Jimmy needed.
in the end, everyone needs a Pete. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
And okay, I gotta say this. the look playing it on Twitch one time, and I forgot that this was a mission. The Panda Raid mission really didn't age well.
Well,
Then again,
yeah,
it was never a good thing in the first place because I didn't realize how bad and how dark it was actually like the tone was for the mission because you realize that this fucking teacher is a fucking you know what. And I was thinking like,
bro.
oh my God, he made a like a male student like freaking do a panic raid just for his fucking sick pleasure. And I was
Yeah,
thinking like,
and you see when
dude,
Jimmy gives them to him, he goes like, you know, he rubs his hands together
yeah,
like, oh boy, yeah,
yeah. And what I felt so fucking terrible about it afterwards because like a friend I was friends with at the time back then, she was watching the stream and afterwards she's like, how old was this game? Like, and she said like, not gonna lie, the panic raid thing kind of like took me like kind of like I forgot the term, took her back
yeah. She
or
was
kind of
taken
shocked
aback.
her. It
Mhm.
shocked her, and I was kind of like, "Fuck yeah, this is actually like a really bad mission." And what sucked even more was that you can't like skip it because it was not like optional. You actually had to
Yeah,
do it to like get on the story. And I was like, "Damn, this." I mean, I guess it sets up why the teacher would get fired later on because he's a freaking creep, and he was like being a creep to like the female students, but no one would listen to the female students. But
well,
I was kind of like, shit, crazy rock star for doing this kind of thing.
I also think that again, I think given the time frame, it still wasn't really cool for girls to play video games. I think that was when the market was predominant, excuse me, predominantly male. I still think it is predominantly male, but it's getting less predominantly male. You know what I mean? Like the gap is closing. I think um, to be truthful with you, like SpongeBob, they have that panty raid episode, and it's funny because it's Mr. Krabs' mom, you
Yeah.
know. But I think it's like this unwritten like rule with us guys. Like it's kind of an inside joke, right? It's funny to us, and like we can talk about it, right? Like the whole panty raid thing. I don't know a single person who's been who's done that, who's done like a panty raid thing. I mean, first of all, that's breaking and entering, you know.
Hmm.
Second of all, um, most men are aware that that's scumbag behavior. We all know what being creepy is like. You know what I mean?
Oh
We can
yeah.
observe it in other people, and other people are being creepy. I think it was meant as a joke, and the whole joke is that that guy is a pedophile, and that's funny because it's a video game. You know what I mean? No harm is actually coming of it. Um,
Right.
so but I could definitely understand people feeling like a little weirded out or uncomfortable by that character, by that mission. But I mean, again, it's more. I think it was more just
Just for
towards
comedy at that time.
yeah. And you gotta think comedy like does not age well. Have you ever tried like you watched Jackass, right? Like back in the
I
day.
never watched Jackass. I mean, that's something for.
What? Wow. Maybe I'm just like redneck as shit because I asked my cousins who like they're kind of less like white trash than I am, and or at least like at birth it seems because it seems like now I kind of have a little bit of grace, I guess. But like I don't know, I asked them and they've never seen it, and I was like, wow, that you guys are crazy. Back in the day, everyone was about it. Maybe it was just those redneck people. I don't know.
I
Like
only seen some of the show, but not like the actual movie.
right. Okay. So like, but if you watch it, if you've seen some of the show, then that counts. Like,
Oh, okay.
if you try to watch it now, it's kind of hard. It's weird. It's like, why the fuck are these guys doing that? That's kind of how I look at it now. It's like these guys are just rambunctious, immature, like man children.
Yeah.
Um, Comedy's weird. It's weird like that. But yeah, I don't think there was any nefarious like. I don't think Bully was trying to go and um, do anything. I think it was just funny because it was a game and nothing is happening in the game. You know what I mean? Like no harm's coming to anyone. That's my main
Yeah.
thing.
Like in the game, like during its time, I understand like what it was like doing during the time, but nowadays, I of course I know better. Like that's scumbag shit, like you said,
Yeah,
and obviously whoever does that in real life is a fucking scumbag and should be in jail. So
yeah.
yeah.
You if you know people who do that, you don't treat them like they're, oh, like, okay, I don't know why this would happen, but a friend of yours comes up to you and he's like, "Yeah, bro, guess what? Went to this girl's house last night. Got a drawer full of panties." You're not gonna be like, "Sick, bro, high five." Like, no. You're gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
That reminds
Some
me of TSA.
some
Like,
people might punch the guy. Like
oh yeah, and I don't know. That's so weird. Like some people. I mean, I guess there are some guys that could be like that, but
they're creepy to
it's
begin
crazy
with.
how, huh?
I was just saying they're creepy to begin with, though. I don't think the video game influenced them to do it. They're creepy. They've had those thoughts before.
Yeah,
You know.
but what I was trying to say is that I think it's just crazy that we just had that kind of stereotype where it's a lot of guys who like group together and just talk about girls like in that certain way all the time or such like that. And I'm just thinking, who are these guys and are they actually real?
Who are these
Like be
guys?
talking like that.
I'll be honest, like a lot of times, because I know there is such a thing as guy talk. Like, um, I've witnessed it to an extent, but
Hmm.
to be real with you, I spent a lot more time staying up all night and talking about my feelings with my guy friends, like my best friend, because we used to like sleep in the same bed and stuff. We've known each other a long time, and we just sleep like right next to each other. We'd be up until like 2, 3 in the morning on a school night talking about this bitch who we loved and this bitch who broke our heart, all this stuff. And I say to you listeners, I say bitch like it's endearingly. That's just how I talk. I'm not trying to be sexist. I realized like after I said, I was like, wow, that does not sound good, you
Yeah.
know. But no, we would talk about the girls that we would like and that we would be affectionate towards more so than we'd be like, I don't know. Most guys aren't terribly crude like that. That's not to say guys don't have crude thoughts. Girls
Yeah.
have crude thoughts too. They're not like innocent of that either. But like, we're not like, I want to fuck her brains out. Like we don't talk about stuff like that. We don't do that with each other. It's weird. And when you do, it's like it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to hear that from someone else.
It's
It's like
cringy. So,
it's like, bro, do your business. Like if you want to go do it, but don't like tell me. Like
right.
I don't know. It's like guys say feelings more than you know lust in my experiences anyway.
In my experience, yeah, like the most that I can remember probably throughout high school was that a lot of guys would be asking other guys like, "Hey, I'm talking to this girl. Like, what should I say? Hey, I'm talking to this girl. Like, do you think she actually likes me, or like she's actually just like treating me as that gay friend, even though he's not gay, and stuff like that. Like, I hear that kind of stuff. I'm just
Yeah,
thinking,
yeah,
damn, and we didn't have feelings,
yeah. Guys are so
despite the fact I'm
clueless.
emotional as hell at times.
Yeah, yeah. Men are clueless. It's pretty funny. I
It
mean,
is. But
you
then
would
girls
think.
can be pretty clueless too. Is that's like the weirdest thing. Like all the stereotypes, all that can be flipped back and forth, and I think that's just like the beauty of
No, I,
humans.
I
Just the way
think the
diversity.
girls, I think the ladies are smarter, at least when they're young. I feel like people kind of balance out as far as like intelligence goes. Most people are like, boys aren't smarter than girls by and large. Girls aren't smarter than boys by and large. Everyone's kind of equal. At least that's the way I see it. But starting out, girls are smarter. I feel like they have their shit together, and it's a game. Like they're manipulating us. I'll completely honest with you. That's what I think. I think they pretend to be aloof. Like I don't know, or like I don't know. I think they know. Sometimes they know how we feel, but it's awkward for them to address it, especially as boys being boys and not having the ability when you're young to articulate how you feel. So all you can do is just be a dick to them. Like,
Yeah, I noticed that.
mhm.
It's
I don't know. I feel
interesting.
that manly aggression in me sometimes, though. I'll be like, I want to kiss you. Ah, you know what I mean? Have you ever felt that way? Just a surge of adrenaline, like followed by affection. It's very strange.
Yeah,
It's very strange.
it is
I,
weird, but
I fucking
yeah,
love you. Just grab their face and like scream into them.
I think
You
that's
know?
just the confidence now. Like they just make. like if you're like with the right person, they make you like very confident in how you want to like really act, and not like saying like, oh, I really want to act all manly or shit like that, but like really want to act like want to show my damn emotions to you, like I'm all about you, you know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, but I don't know, it's
Yeah.
just like I don't know, I think it's just kind of cool. Like over time, like you, it also helps that like when there are like two people that, well, that's four, two people like are like can mesh really well together. Like soon enough, like all those like stereotypes and like if they're a really good couple, like a lot of the stuff that bother them, like they find a way to compromise instead of
Hmm.
arguing all the damn time. Along with the fact that I don't know, they just need perspective at times because like, well, I do this like it doesn't wait, why does this bother you? I only do this because it's like, oh, they're this and that to me, and I'm like, all right, but what if this was a roles, if the roles were reversed, how would you feel? And I'm like, oh, I feel terrible. Like, sure, like you can see
Hmm.
that kind of stuff happen from time to time, especially like TikTok and everything else. Like I seen so
Right.
much.
I feel it,
And
bro. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
nothing else. I was just thinking like, shit. Imagine like if the Bully sequel was made. I would love to see a sequel made for Bully.
So many
But
people have been asking for it for so long.
I am people, yeah. And I don't know if they were to like update like during our time now, like 2020 or something like that, then that'd be kind of interesting just to see how. Who knows? Maybe they would try to integrate some kind of phone system because everybody has phones these days, or unless they make it a time where nobody really has cell phones. All in a college system, who knows?
I think the
I don't know.
I think the main thing right now, Rockstar's main strength is story. I feel like they don't have a story for Bully 2. Um, or maybe they'd use a different word for bully. They'd use like, rabble rouser or something. Imagine that just goes back to like the 1930s. Um, no, but I feel like, to be honest, as far as like a gaming company goes and stuff, Rockstar, they make really good stories. They make really compelling stories. I would hope to God that it's not like Red Dead Redemption 2. I know I shat on it like last time, or at least I feel like I did. I did like one time recently
Yeah.
anyway. Um, in that, like, it's a long game to play. Like cutscene, even if you get through the game, like I'm just talking cutscenes and stuff. Bully was good because it was like, in terms of cutscenes, nothing was too long, nothing was too short. It felt right, the things that you saw, the cutscenes, everything. I feel like they would struggle to find that balance. I feel like they would try to make a really good story and then maybe mess up somewhere along the line when it comes down to like the execution of the cutscenes and this and that. They also, I imagine that they would want to make the game online because they have a lot of success in online. They make a lot of money from GTA Online, and they have a lot of success with Red Dead Online. I think that I think that's the main hurdle. To be honest, I don't think it's a realistic thing uh, to imagine. There's always going to be more GTA's. There might be another Red Dead Redemption, although I don't think they need it. I don't think they even needed the second one. Um, it was nice, the second one. I think to add, like, it was good fan service, but they didn't really need it. I don't know that they would be able to pull off, unless they just said, "Oh, I don't care. We're gonna make." If they stuck to the original formula of Bully, which, let's be honest, most gaming companies, they don't. When they remake like older games or like a sequel, they come back to make a sequel. They change it up and fuck it up, like a Banjo Kazooie, nuts and bolts. That game was a shit show. It's like, what the fuck, dude? People like this platformer. What are you doing? What are these cars? What is this shit? Like,
Oh damn.
I don't know. It's just I feel like I feel like that's the main thing that Rockstar would struggle with making another Bully, personally. Also, who'd be the protagonist?
That's
Jimmy
a good
Hopkins
question.
2.0. Um,
I mean, so the Jimmy Hopkins voice actor said that he during that time when he did the voice for Jimmy,
mhm,
he did sound like his voice sounds amazingly the right age length.
mhm.
And he said like now that he's older, he now sounds maybe he's able to like sound like a now like a college Jimmy. So
Right.
if they were to go college for Jimmy, then he could make it work. But
Oh yeah.
if anything, they would try to make it like focus on a different student, maybe some random guy or girl. Then
I would
eh,
want to be Pete.
huh?
No, I wouldn't actually. I thought about that for a second. I'm like, Pete's not gonna get into those shenanigans. I don't want to be Petey. I would want to be Algernon. You ever think it's funny how like the wars would go on like in campus on Bully, and you're just walking around. Suddenly, there's like three nerds fighting a fucking like one prep. Saw this
Yeah,
saw this one time, bro. Because like I think the bullies are kind of like they're pretty low tier. I mean, they fuck with the nerds and the regular kids. I think that's it. Um,
yeah.
Preppies will fuck with whoever. Uh, Jocks will. Greasers will. I've had more trouble with the greasers than the jocks, to be honest. Like I know the jocks have more health, but they're not harder to fight, in my opinion. Um,
I
but
feel it.
like I had this one time. It was so funny. Um, so there's like there are these two like people holding hands, right?
Right. Oh
I
boy.
think it was one of the nerds and like the girl with the like the regular girl, and by regular girl, I mean because you know how they had like one from each faction and like three of the
Did she have
um
black hair or red
black
hair?
hair. I don't
Oh,
remember the
okay.
name. Was it Julie? I feel like it was Julie or Julia or something. I
Mm.
feel like the redhead was named Christy. I don't know why I remember that, but I swear her name's Christy. Anyway, though, um, yeah, she was the one with the black hair, and like, I think it was what's the nerd name? The fat one, Fatty. It wasn't Algernon because Algernon's fat too, but it was Fatty. Fatty's like holding her hand and just walking with his funny little face. He kind of looks like a mole. He's walking. A bully comes up, right? And he just goes like wham, like he sprints up and like cracks the
God damn.
girl. He missed Fatty. He was going for Fatty, but he missed. He punched the chick, right? And then the fucking prefect came like sprinting and punched the bully down. It was so funny, and Fatty just ran off. It was fucking hilarious, bro.
Oh my god.
I was like,
Dude,
what the fuck?
that's why I fucking love about games like Saints Row 2 or Bully, because like they're the AI for some of the for the NPCs are freaking amazing. Like they'll just be doing their own thing, and then like someone else will be like, "Ah, I'm about to ruin your day" to the other NPC, and it's just amazing what will turn out.
Yeah, so funny. Um, that was so funny. I can't stop thinking about it. That was like probably the funniest thing that's ever happened while playing Bully. Um, yeah.
Yeah.
Except for like when the cops would like try to punch you when you're driving like the moped.
Oh yeah, that's
They
bad.
just be they just be like "Pah!" And like I'm like, dude, I'm a kid. you know? And I'm not wearing a helmet either because I never wore the helmet. Because honestly, you don't want to go all the way back to your room just to put the helmet on your head and then go drive. So
Right.
stupid. So like, never wear the helmet. They're just punching me in the head. They're gonna give me a concussion.
Some brain damage or some shit.
Yeah.
I mean, Jimmy was already ugly enough as it is. It's gonna get more ugly when he touches the pavement.
Yeah, he's not that pretty of a protagonist. You kind of look at him, and he's literally like the embodiment of snot-nosed punk. Like, because I don't feel like he's a bad kid, all things considered. I feel like he's got some issues to work
Dude,
through.
I give props to Rockstar for having like a literal snot-nosed protagonist. I was saying like, you know what? It's just nice to see someone like a bit more relatable.
Right, a
And
bit more average, not a handsome fecker like Shepard. I don't know why I'm dissing him. That's my thing now. I'm just gonna diss him for being so handsome. It's an unrealistic standard. I don't know. I'm
like,
just messing around.
why is
But
he so muscular? Like, oh, he's a space marine. What do you expect? Like, I don't know.
dude, I would love to be a space marine. I was born. I don't want to sound like one of those people on the internet, but I was born in the wrong generation. I feel pissed off that like Elon Musk is trying to take us to space, and I'm just here like, bro, I want to be there already. I don't want to be here like just okay. because I feel like I'll tell my grandchildren like, "Oh, you can go to space now. You know, I wanted to go and live in space, but fuck me, I guess." You know, like I don't know, because man, that pisses me off. I want to be all like Star Wars and Mass Effect, just you know.
Right side, we have a King Kong vs. Godzilla movie in our
Don't tell me about it.
destination.
I'm watching it on the 20th.
Don't worry,
Actually,
I'm not gonna tell you anything about it. Don't worry. I mean, I might make an episode with Mason later on, but that's like a different kind of thing.
I
Unless
feel it.
unless we hold off until you watch it, then we can all three of us can talk about it.
All I know is like my buddy, he lives in he lives over by Mexico actually. He's like 20 minutes from Mexico. He's really close to the border. And so um he's been wanting to come down and visit for this whole month and I'm like, "When are you coming?" And he
Oh,
just said today that he's coming on the 20th. So we're going to that because we've been planning it since it came out because I think it came out the 31st, right?
yeah,
And
somewhere.
yeah, so we've been like, okay, we're gonna watch it. Like we're all gonna watch together. Like my cousin too, because my cousin really likes Godzilla and stuff. We all really like Godzilla. So yeah, exciting.
Yeah,
I'm really excited. It'll be fun.
I bet. And I think that's pretty much it for the bully talk. Like, is there anything like any last thing you want to say or add in for it, or not really?
Not that I can think of now. We said a lot that wasn't bully related and a lot that was bully related. It's a complex game and there's a lot. It obviously like when you think about like there's a lot of comparisons, but I feel like you can't make them all because a lot of things you could say like, well, my experience in chemistry class wasn't like bully, you know. Um, chemistry class was cool, by the way, in bully. Like you actually made shit. I made ice cream with liquid nitrogen and like cream and shit. That was cool. But like I
That.
didn't play around with chemicals that could have exploded. That would have been sick. But yeah, you know.
It makes sense. I mean, for all I know, my subconscious decided to like have us secretly talk about school overall, but had to have some kind of game included inside the gaming talk.
Could be.
But hey, it worked out perfectly. Like we did talk like a good amount of both things, so I
Yeah,
think worked out
I'm
perfect.
happy with it.
All right, man. Since I think we're like reaching the end of this episode, is there anything you'd like to say to the audience, like plug in anything or not?
Uh, no plug. No plug. Just love. I love you guys. That's it.
Awesome. And yeah, everybody, you want to follow the podcast Twitter? I'll leave it in the description below. And for anything else, like any other kind of info, yeah, I'll leave it down below too. One day Nathan will make his podcast, and then I can finally add that in the description. That'll be pretty cool.
Hell yeah. One day.
And anything else? Well, I just want to say thank you for listening. If you want to tell us anything like future episode recommendations, if you're listening, you can go on YouTube. Like I'll be posting this podcast on YouTube, and you can write down in the comments like what you'd like to see or not like to see. I don't know. And hey, if you can and like to support the podcast and you're listening to on Apple, you can support it by giving us like a rating and if you like, write a review. I mean, helps make us get more noticed. Other than that, that's pretty much it. So yeah, this was Alejandro and Nathan, and just like to say good night and thank you for listening to us talk about our school lives and bully. Not
Yeah.
getting bullied, but just bully the game. Good night, everybody.
Bye,
Peace.
guys.